What's going on, friends? In this video I'm going to show you how to hook up your hose so you can vacuum out your pool. You should have one of these. It's an adapter plate that goes in your skimmer. Now some of these are going to have a 90-degree elbow, some might be straight. I'll show you how you do mine with a 90-degree elbow on it. You're going to definitely need a hose, and you're going to need your little vacuum head and a pole to hook up to your vacuum. I'm going to give you a couple tips here too toward the end. There's actually a couple different ways you could maybe do this. It's very easy. First, I'm going to hook up my vacuum head on here. Now if you have a brand new hose, look at your ends, because some of your the ends are going to tell you, like, I'm not exactly sure what it say. It might say skimmer, which that end's going to go on here and go in your skimmer, and the other end might say vacuum, your vacuum head. Mine all dry rotted last year, so I bought they're pretty. So if yours are all dry rotted, you can buy new heads for these, and you'll cut yours off, and these just spin on. They spin on backwards, so they don't seem to be as good as the brand new ones though, because they seem to leak a little bit. So, but I'll show you also what to do to check for leaks. We're going to put one end on our vacuum head. This is a little easier too if you have help. I'm going to put this end down in the pool. Maybe extend your pole. This is where it's nice to maybe have a helper, because your pole might fall in the water. I'm going to put the rest of my hose right out here in the water. Another thing you're going to have to do is, if you have your little flapper here on your skimmer, you're going to have to take that off. If you have one that's a 90 degree, if you have one that's straight, you're not going to have to take your flapper off. This piece right here is going to go right over top of your basket that's in your skimmer. I'm going to show you how I do that with this. So now I take this end of my hose, and you got to find where your water jet is, where it's shooting the water out in your pool. And you're going to take this, and I'm going to put that right over that jet, and I'm going to fill this hose up with water. When you start filling this up, you're going to see bubbles come out of there. Let them bubbles keep coming out. When they stop, I like to go another maybe 5 or 10 seconds, just so I know this hose is completely full. Okay. And keep the hose under the water, because you don't want the water to come back out. You have to keep that water in there. Then you're going to take your piece that you got and slide that over the end. And for me, I'm just going to slide this over and go right inside my skimmer, and then right down over my basket. Now I'm vacuuming. If you hear that, my hose leaks a little bit. But if you have a 90 degree, or if you have one that's straight, you're going to have to pull that out of the water. Hang on. Yeah. I can do mine. If yours is straight, I'll show you. If your plate is straight, this isn't straight, but I'll show you approximately what it's going to look like. You're going to put your straight one on there. You're going to have to hold your hand over it like this, and bring it down, and then put it down in there real quick, and put it down over your basket. Just like that. I can kind of use mine just like that too. Now another thing you may have to do, I have a pump that has a high and a low. Right now my pump is on low. Now when I leave my pump on low all the time, except for when I go vacuum, I will turn my pump on high. A lot of pumps you might only have a single speed, or if you have a variable speed, you're going to probably want to turn your variable speed all the way up when you're vacuuming. So let me go turn my pump on high. Here's my... Here you go, little Patrick. you vacuum out your pool at least once a week, this vacuuming won't be that hard. And if this is too hard for you, check out this Dolphin automatic vacuum here that I'm going to put on the corner. I'll put a link to this down in the description, except they ain't very cheap. Alright, one of my tips is, if you start losing suction, or it seems like you're losing suction, a good way to check is to come over to the same place that you filled up your hose with the water, right here, to this right here. If there's not a lot of water blowing out of there, that may mean you lost suction. And if you continually keep losing suction, you also may need a new hose. That's why I ended up putting new ends on mine. It was definitely a lot cheaper than buying a complete new hose. And if you see, I'm still just using mine at the top. So you can put it in at the top, or you can use the 90-degree elbow. Alright, one more thing, when you are all finished, you're going to have to turn your pump off. Because if you have good enough suction, you're not going to be able to pull this out. It's going to be sucked right on there. So you're going to have to turn your pump off and pull that off. And then you can put everything away. So let's go turn my pump off. Now my pump's off. Now you can take your hose out. Take the adapter plate out too, Patrick. Oh, yeah. It's laying down in there. Alright, you take that out. Now I can put my flapper back in and turn my pump back on. One more tip, if you do end up losing suction, you may have to turn your pump off, crack this lid right here on your pump, and the water will start coming out of here. When this fills up and water starts, here I'll show you. If you end up losing suction, you're going to come down, turn your pump off, come down to your pump, and you have to crack this lid, like that. Just crack it a little bit. And then I see the water coming out, and then shut it. That means your whole basket in there is filled up with water. And then you can turn your pump back on and you'll have suction. Alright, I got my hose back out. I'm going to put my flapper back in my skimmer. Now I can put everything away. And I do recommend taking your hose and try to put it somewhere that it's not sitting in the sun, because the sun is just going to dry rot your hose or dry rot the ends, and it's all going to crack and you're going to have to get a new hose. Alright, well, I hope this video helped you out on how to vacuum your pool out. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. Check out all my other pool videos I made for people that are beginners with pools. Thank you very much, God bless, and have a great summer swimming.